Welcome to level 8 out of 31 levels of the 613 degrees or rungs on Jacob's ladder. Level 8 is half about animal sacrifices. The next metaphorical animal sacrifice is a ewe, which is a female sheep. To sacrifice a ram, which is a male sheep, is to rid the desire to butt heads or intentionally cause confrontation with others. Acting like a ram is to be argumentative on purpose. To metaphorically sacrifice the ewe is to prevent the birth of the ram. In order to prevent confrontation, it is important to educate oneself on why confrontation occurs. It is good to argue over something believed in, but when the argument is intentionally aimed at insulting the other person, this is when confrontation is harmful. So what is the cause behind intentional confrontation? Well, there can be many causes, but some of them are for the purpose of revenge. An example is if a person insults another person. In this case, the person being insulted wants to take revenge and intentionally hurt that other person to make up for the damage. In this particular case, it is harder to be the bigger person and not take revenge and avoid intentional, malicious confrontation. It is all about communication. Once we practice our communication skills and avoid these harsh interactions with others, we can truly, ideally interact with others with love and kindness. There is always a way to communicate our feelings and opinions in a civil manner without harming the other person. It is up to us to practice and improve our communication skills to prevent these intentional confrontations. To take, bring, present, slay, and offer the ewe are 5 micro rungs that should not be focused on individually but as a whole. As a whole, the meaning is to prevent the birth of a ram by education of causes of intentional confrontations, preventing the birth of a ram in the future. After the red heifer and ewe are sacrificed, another sacrifice is the she-goat. To sacrifice the she-goat is to metaphorically sacrifice the birth of a goat. To sacrifice a goat is to sacrifice the desire to brag and degrade others. When we sacrifice the she-goat, we prevent bragging and degrading from manifesting. There are many reasons why people brag and degrade others. One reason is low self-esteem. The problem with people is that they constantly try to boost their self-esteem through bullying, insulting, bragging, and degrading others, which only provides fleeting selfish pleasures. This is a never-ending cycle. If people would start complimenting and praising others and appreciating others instead of putting people down, they would experience longer-lasting pleasures of joy, creating high esteem. So to sacrifice the red heifer, the ewe, and the she-goat is to prevent the birth of the bullock or bull, ram, and goat. To take, bring, present, slay, and offer the she-goat are also 5 micro rungs that should not be analyzed individually but as a whole. After we master animal sacrifices, it is appropriate to maintain walking stability as we walk the path of truth. To maintain walking stability is to prevent the loss of emulation of walking in God's ways. Moses possessed a staff or rod which gave him the ability to maintain walking in the ways of God. The staff was used to transform dark matter into light matter and alter reality. By transforming dark matter into light matter, we create a positive reality for self and others. To walk with the staff is to make a negative situation into a positive one by injecting love and kindness into the situation. Meditation can help aid the staff or rod and should be practiced to recall daily situations and evaluate them, how they were handled, and ways they could have been improved and transformed positively better. To practice leaping to great spiritual heights is to make the jump from one realization to the next realization, ascending in spiritual reality. For instance, with the staff, we could envision a dark reality of a negative situation that took place and make the jump to a higher reality or realization of greater spiritual reality that could have been transformed. Now we can transform dark matter, which is negativity, to light matter, which is positivity, increasing spiritual reality. The next jump or realization is that it is a good practice to dodge and escape insults and have thick skin to be unaffected by insults. The phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names may never hurt me," should be our motto. Words should not be able to penetrate our skin if we are prepared to hear them. Another realization is that it is okay to kill a dream, but never to kill the dreamer. It is okay to try something new, and if it doesn't work, discard it, but it is important to never stop dreaming and being creative. One good practice is to determine when one's soul is born or reborn, and remember the day in which it occurs as a momentous occasion. One should feel pride in giving birth to a soul or rebirth to a soul, because it is a new positive chapter in a person's life. Similar to that, it is important to recall one's departure from egoism and selfishness, which occurred right after the birth of one's soul. First, one realized they need to change their condition, which a negative one. Then they realized that it is egoism and selfishness that needs to be transformed to altruism and selflessness in order to journey on the path to the promised land. Another realization is to remember the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a day of rest from fighting from others. After we master animal sacrifices and avoid fighting, it is important to remember this state of consciousness one achieves, where one is free from fighting and is at a peaceful rest in one's heart from discord. It is also important to maintain a high value and worth of the Sabbath day, because it is a great occasion to achieve this high state of consciousness without strife and discord. It is important to keep the Sabbath day holy or preserve the high value of the Sabbathic state of consciousness.